The battle of the priest was over, but its ending was a spark for something deeper to begin. Darkness still blinded Zeno's perception. He ordered his guards forward, their faces blank, eyes knowing nothing except absolute obedience. Goku and Vegeta realized that the path to the truth, the path to confronting the priest himself, would not open unless they crossed this final barrier. A few seconds remained before the point of no return began. The silence was heavy, for this confrontation was no longer between warriors. It had become between Goku, Vegeta, and the king whose name makes all tremble, Zeno. Zeno sharply raised his hand and said,
"Your existence is the origin of destruction. Your end begins now."
Goku glanced at Vegeta and said, "Vegeta, we must conserve our energy. The priest will return. I'll begin the first clash. Do what must be done, but let me start." Vegeta smiled, a warrior smile carrying respect for his partner's decision. "Take your time, Kakarot. Enjoy your beginning, but the ending, leave that to me." Goku advanced in slow, steady steps. When he stood directly before the first guard, face to face, silence fell like the collapse of time itself. Goku spoke calmly. "I know you are not truly the one who wants this fight. You're just a machine obeying an order, so you are not my real target. But if the path to truth is closed by you, I will open it." The guard did not move, did not blink, did not breathe. Goku slowly smiled and said, "Then let's see the strength of the one who commands you." Suddenly, Goku shot upward into the sky like a star piercing space. The guard lifted his head, realizing Goku intended to fight from extreme heights. The guard launched upward after him. Yet something unexpected happened. Goku vanished from his sight. Shock filled the guard's unmoving face. Then, the strike came directly from behind into the guard's back, blasting him far away, sending him sailing across space. When his motion ceased, he found Goku already before him again, smiling with complete confidence, as if saying, "This is the power of one who fights with mind, not rage." Earth's friends stood frozen in stunned silence. What just happened? Was that really Goku who struck him? The other guard remained near Zeno, motionless, observing everything.
Vegeta placed his hand upon Earth's surface. A wave of cosmic energy erupted. A shining protective shield expanded around planet Earth, radiant like a massive wing guarding the world from the force of impact to come.
Whis approached, whispering, "Vegeta's core has fully changed now that he inherited the power of Zeno's father. I believe this shield alone can protect Earth even from a direct clash against Zeno's guard." In space, Goku stood before his opponent. The guard broke the silence for the first time, his voice serious, deep. "You believe you see everything, Goku. I've witnessed your power, but don't assume all is revealed yet." His words were cryptic, carrying something hidden. The guard rushed forward with a powerful punch towards Goku.
In response, Goku dodged the punch with complete ease, smiling, confident, carefully observing every detail of the attack's movement. However, space itself trembled from the force of it, and the shockwave generated by the punch tore through the planets in front of it.
The Earth's friends were stunned again. How? Zeno's feared guard looks like nothing before Goku? Despite his annoyance at Goku's evasion, the guard did not lose his confidence. Then something bizarre occurred. His eyes flared with strange purple light. The orb above his head pulsed with uncanny energy. The guard launched a second attack, seemingly illusory, like a test for Goku. Yet in the same fraction of a moment, another punch, invisible and incomprehensible, aimed at Goku's back. A massive explosion shook space from the false attack. but Goku raised his arms with extreme focus, recognizing within a single fragment of a second the true source of that attack. Something in that attack defied all his understanding. He muttered, "How?" It felt like he copied the punch toward the opposite direction at the same time. His confusion was not weakness. It was the moment he recognized a deeper, more complex power hiding inside the guard. Vegeta, from his position, sharpened his focus, watching every detail of movement, trying to decode the mystery of that technique.
The guard spoke again. "I told you, Goku, you still understand nothing. What you witness is only the beginning. The true secret has not appeared yet."
Goku answered firmly, "The secret you're hiding won't remain long. I'll tear it out in my way. Nothing will block my path." Then the attack erupted in full force. A violent barrage of punches exploded between them at impossible speed. Space trembled and planets shattered around them. The shield Vegeta had created to protect Earth held strong, keeping the planet intact under the colossal pressure. Amid the cosmic chaos, Vegeta noticed something abnormal. The second guard near Zeno had also begun glowing with the same purple eye light, resonating identically to Goku's opponent in space. Vegeta stared in deep wonder, questioning silently, not yet grasping what was unfolding before him.
In space, the guard spoke with a calm yet terrifying voice. "Good, you passed the first test. But what about this one? Let's see if you can get past it, Goku." Suddenly, he charged his hand with massive energy and fired it at Goku. Goku sensed the attack was a trap, so he chose not to counterattack, focusing only on defense and evasion. But the real shock came when he felt another invisible strike, hitting him again from behind. The force wave was sudden, violent, beyond anything he expected. Seizing the moment of confusion, the guard rushed at Goku with a harsh chain of devastating punches, faster and more brutal than ever, surpassing any ability to fully block or counter them. Goku lost control for a moment. He realized the guard's attacks had changed fundamentally, faster, harsher, as if something within the guard had just erupted. On Earth, the other guard stood watching the battle steadily, his eyes glowing with the same strange purple light, the mysterious orb above his head pulsating with bizarre energy. But suddenly, from nowhere, a massive strike came from behind. The whole place erupted in a violent explosion, spreading terror among his friends, and no one knew what had happened. When the dust cleared, the scene revealed itself clearly. Vegeta was the cause. He stood proudly and said, "I knew you were playing in the shadows with your tricks, but you won't be able to fool me. One more hit, and you're done." The moment Vegeta lined up another strike, something slammed into him from the side, an invisible force blasting outward with violent shock, pushing him back. Yet he raised his hand defensively in time. The guard remained completely unaffected, without a single mark on his body. Vegeta raised his gaze in disbelief. "Now I know. There is something deeper here, a secret you're hiding from everyone, but we will uncover it no matter the cost." The guard's expression stayed serious, replying coldly, "If you think trickery is only one of our traits, think again. We know how to guide every step with wisdom, and in the end, you will understand what I mean." He then launched a blinding attack, his fist rushing toward Vegeta. Vegeta blocked it with only one hand, staring directly into his eyes and said, "Trickery isn't merely deception. Some understand it, some turn trickery into art, an art not easy to see through." Then, in a shocking instant, he drove a brutal strike into the guard's stomach, a terrifying blow that exploded with overwhelming power, making the guard roar in pain, body shivering under the force of the hit. Vegeta smirked sharply. "A lesson you will never forget. Power isn't for those who only act the part, but for those who enforce their presence. He fired concentrated energy from his hand directly into the guard's face, sending him crashing into the surface of the planet. A dreadful silence fell. Vegeta stepped forward ominously, placing his boot on the guard's chest, humiliating him before Zeno himself. He lifted his head and said, "Your luck ran out, because you didn't run into someone like Kakarot. You stood in my way. I'll show you slowly what it means to anger the Prince of Saiyans." Then he added with scorn, "I thought you'd be a true challenge, but fine. You were nothing but pawns. We'll clean the path before that idiot rat shows up. The priest." At that moment, he launched one final lethal attack, a devastating eruption of ki blasting through the guard's body. Space exploded once more. Earth's friends watched in total disbelief. Gohan gasped, "No, I can't believe it. His power evolved beyond anything I imagined?" Krillin trembled. Did Vegeta just surpass Goku? Before anyone could fully sink into the shock, Whis intervened, calm, logical. "We can't determine who's strongest now, but Vegeta read his enemies, uncovered their strategy, and acted before they gained full control."
Then everyone looked toward the sky.
There, they saw something breathtaking. Goku had suddenly regained control of his battle after Vegeta's interference.
Vegeta raised his head toward space, his eyes burning with seriousness and anger. "There is a secret those arrogant guardians are hiding, and it's time for it to be revealed. The rules of this game must change." At incredible speed, Vegeta launched into space toward Goku. He landed on the surface of a distant planet where Goku was already watching the situation with deep focus. Vegeta stepped forward with quiet, confident steps, lifted his eyes, and froze with a powerful shock as he saw the second guardian near his twin. He had reached this place first. Vegeta trembled for a moment, while Goku remained still and spoke calmly. "I know what you want to say, Vegeta. I felt it too. There is a secret in these Guardians' attacks. Every strike isn't just power, it's part of a hidden system. We must synchronize our attacks and enter at once with one push." Vegeta smiled and replied, "I didn't expect time to bring us back standing together like this, Kakarot. But if this is the path to prove our power, I won't back down." The two stood side by side, Goku watching, Vegeta focusing, both sharing the same strategic awareness. The two guardians stood still, eyes frozen. Goku seriously said, "Every strike must be calculated, every step precise. Is that clear, Vegeta?" Vegeta responded, "Let's go, Kakarot. Let's see how far we can surpass this together." The cosmic war has begun. Space shook violently under the synchronized attacks of Goku and Vegeta. Every strike, every punch moved in perfect harmony, each of them focused on a specific guardian, precisely targeting their hidden techniques, pushing them to the absolute limits of their resistance. All existence trembled. Planets cracked beneath those blows, and space itself seemed to groan under the intensity of the unleashed energy. In the middle of the battle, something strange happened. A light ignited in the eyes of the two guardians. Despite showing signs of temporary strain, they did not stop resisting. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta continued attacking relentlessly. Their friends were unable to comprehend the scale of speed and power they were witnessing. Even as they watched, they could not determine who was truly controlling the offensive at any given moment. A brief calm settled over space after the violent barrage. The two guardians fell to their knees, showing signs of temporary breaking. Goku exhaled confidently. "Vegeta,
We have to finish this with one strike. Everything is moving exactly as we planned." Vegeta smiled and replied, "Fine. Let's see the difference between those who merely stand before power and those who represent the true will to dominate." The two raised their hands to charge energy. Suddenly, a strange mark appeared. Both guardians stood at the exact same moment, but this time it was not just a glow. A mysterious beam merged between them, turning them into one single entity surrounded by a terrifying aura. Goku looked at Vegeta with firm resolve. "Don't lose focus, Vegeta. Now we combine everything and launch." Then the two unleashed their ultimate attack, a united scream exploding from their chests as their wave collided with the fused Guardian, who struggled under the massive pressure. Goku screamed louder, Vegeta as well, until a massive explosion filled space, the resulting shockwaves shaking nearby planets. Just as the storm settled and victory seemed near, Goku and Vegeta heard a cold, mocking voice behind them. "Good try, but you failed." The two turned around in shock, discovering the Guardians behind them again, now separated, each holding energy in their hands, repeating in a lethal echoing tone, "You still have not understood the secrets of our game." Another massive explosion was unleashed, swallowing Goku and Vegeta together, filling space with indescribable terror. Their defeat was not accidental. It was a horrifying lesson about mystery, hidden coordination, and a secret still unrevealed. The truth became clear. These two Guardians were far more than ordinary enemies. Their nature remained shrouded in mystery. Goku and Vegeta crashed hard into the ground. They decided to stop temporarily to understand what was happening. Impossible! They had the upper hand just moments ago. How did they lose control so fast?
Whis responds wisely. Goku and Vegeta know well that the real danger has not arrived yet. They are certainly holding back their true power. Maybe that is the reason the surrounding light around us has dimmed. There is a puzzle in their opponent's fighting style, a puzzle that must be solved before they drain their energy for nothing. The two Guardians stepped forward with steady steps, surrounding the exhausted and weakened Goku and Vegeta. "Since your end is close anyway, we might as well show you the truth." Everyone goes silent. Even Goku lifted his head, focusing intensely. The Guardians said, "The first thing you must realize is that you were never fighting two. We are one. One mind, one soul, two bodies moving like two fingers on the same hand." The entire arena stared without blinking. The right side Guardian continued, "When we were fighting you, Goku, my other body already knew every movement you were about to make. In that immeasurable fraction of a second, it intervened to cancel your step." The other Guardian continued immediately. "And the same happened to you too, Vegeta. You never faced two independent fighters. You faced one central consciousness, distributing roles flawlessly. Also, at the moment you launched your attack, I merged into a single body to make you believe that you had struck the entire target. But when the pressure exceeded the critical limit, I split into two bodies to protect the system and process the damage rapidly. If you strike one body, the pain splits across both, and the damage heals at a speed you cannot imagine. So, there is no way to take us down no matter what you do." Everyone was stunned. Piccolo analyzed rapidly. "Then, to defeat them, we must land perfectly synchronized strikes on both bodies with equal power, without even the slightest deviation in timing." Whis replied with deadly calm logic.
That appears to be the case, but achieving that is nearly impossible. Goku and Vegeta's attacks differ in rhythm, intention, and precision. Their minds are split, while their opponent is a single mind acting through two bodies. That is an overwhelming advantage. A heavy, charged silence filled space. Goku closed his eyes, attempting extreme focus, while Vegeta watched him, waiting for what he knew was coming. Goku finally broke silence. "Vegeta, there is still something we don't see. We must understand how to defeat someone who fights using two bodies but one soul." Vegeta's eyes widened in shock. "No, don't say it, Kakarot. Don't tell me you're thinking that." Goku did not answer. He closed his eyes again, gathering courage to say the words he hates admitting to Vegeta. "Whether I fight alone or you fight alone, we will fall into the same trap. We need two identical attacks at the same moment, with the same purity, and with double the power. That will never happen unless we become one. Remember Trunks, Vegeta. I know you stand for him. I share the same goal too because of Goten. Remember the reason we fight. Remember everything we already lost, and everything we will lose if we fail now." Then Goku extended his hand, the plea of a warrior who knows he has no choice. Vegeta closed his eyes. His silence stretched long, extremely long. Then he opened them again with terrifying resolve. "Fine, Kakarot. Let's do it." The two slowly stood up as one prepares for something massive. The Guardians watched coldly in silence. In the stands, Gohan gasped, No way! Are they actually going to fuse?" Krillin trembled. "Oh God, this could destroy the entire wait, not the planet, the entire existence itself!" Goku and Vegeta stood facing each other. They exchanged one final stare. Then, the movement was perfect. The steps were correct. The timing flawless. A terrifying white flash exploded outward. The entire arena violently shook, then began fading away. Everyone waited for the new fused being to appear, but no one was there. Goku and Vegeta were still standing exactly as they were, separate. Gohan screaming in disbelief. "What? The fusion didn't happen? How?" One of the Guardians stepped forward slowly. "Your childish little game is OVR." In the blink of an eye, a transcendently powerful double invisible strike slammed both warriors into the ground again. Goku and Vegeta, after the fusion failed, became like empty shadows. Everything was happening fast, but the pain was slow. The ground shook under every strike. Blood scattered, bones cracked, punches rained down, small shock-burst explosions, until both lay on the ground trembling in agony. In the stands, while everyone was stunned, Whis breathed deeply, as if he had finally found the missing piece of the puzzle. The fusion dance depends on total balance between two bodies, but Goku's body was rebuilt entirely through the necklace. His biology different from Vegeta's. That's why when the energies mixed in the final moment, the fusion collapsed. It found no equilibrium. At that moment, after Zeno had remained silent the whole time, his childish voice struck like lightning. "All right, you may finish them now." A massive light gathered in the Guardian's hands. Death was closing in. No one could move. Everything felt over. And then, at a moment when all seemed to dim, time itself shattered. Motion froze, as if Goku and Vegeta were pulled into a place that did not belong to reality itself. Then they heard a voice, dual but simultaneous. "Father!" Goku and Vegeta opened their eyes and lifted their heads to see Goten standing with uncanny calm on one side, Trunks on the other, identical confidence. Goten, Father, you always stood when everyone else collapsed. How could you forget yourself now? Trunks, Father, after all these years you told me that will defeats the impossible. Have you forgotten? Both sons together. Remember, you are not two, you are halves. You do not compete, you complete each other. And suddenly, a shadow moves behind the two sons. Quiet footsteps, deep, heavy, as if the air bows under their presence. From behind Trunks, the father of Zeno appears. Majesty, steadiness, and from behind Goten, the mother of Zeno emerges. Calm, warmth, serenity. Ozarius says with wisdom, Vegeta, the essence inside you is not the power of war, but a spark of will. This spark only ignites when it finds a light that completes it. On the other side, Elisha speaks, Goku, the light within you is not just for battle. It's a flame that opens any path, no matter how impossible. But light without pure, genuine will fades into nothing. Light and will are incomplete without each other. But fusion cannot be born if the heart still carries a speck of rivalry, or a trace of ego, or even the faintest desire to best the other. Ozarius continues, true essence fusion does not need motion. It does not need technique. It does not need power. It only needs you to purify intention, to empty the heart from all conflict, to trust, and surrender your will to one another. Zeno's mother says softly, when your heart calms, Goku, your light will draw closer. Zeno's father adds with quiet strength, and when your pride falls, Vegeta, your will shall soften. Then they both say in harmony, when your feelings become one, the essence will move on its own. Here, Goku closes his eyes, and Vegeta closes his eyes. They breathe slowly, the same rhythm for the first time since their very first meeting. Goku lets go of all anger. Vegeta lets go of all pride. Goku trusts for the first time without restrictions. Vegeta opens his heart for the first time without resistance. The two guards were about to launch their attack. Goku and Vegeta's time became calculated with extreme precision. The end was near. Their wives watched with shattered hearts, holding on to hope as if stopping it from collapsing. The more Goku released his anger, the closer their hands moved toward each other. The more Vegeta dropped his arrogance, the closer their hands moved toward each other. The guards launched the attack, and suddenly, a massive light exploded, flooding the entire world. The guards were thrown far back. The light spread, but not like before. This time it wasn't blue or burning. It was pure white, sacred, clear to the point of holiness. A light that doesn't burn, but purifies. A light that didn't emerge from them alone. The whole universes felt as though something from their very essence unified without resistance. Everyone closed their eyes, even Zeno. The flash was far too powerful to be looked at directly. The light wasn't foggy or chaotic. It condensed into a single point. In the center of the arena, something formed. Something born not only from power, but from intention, from purity, from two souls that shattered their ego for the first time. The fusion appeared, walking, not ordinary steps, calm, steady steps, as if time itself cleared a path for him. The light no longer flooded the place. It became an inner core, sealed inside his body, shining like a complete star that no longer needs space to sparkle. Silence fell. Everyone froze. Even Zeno couldn't believe his eyes. The guards stared with expressions of shock for the first time in their existence. he was born. The fusion of light, a fusion that carried Goku's raw power, Vegeta's iron firmness, and a purity they had never shown even to themselves. Gohan asked, voice breaking, "Dad, Vegeta, is that really them?" Krillin trembled. This is impossible. That light, I've never seen anything like it. The light, it didn't scatter. Whis answered quietly, correct. This time the light is fully centered inside him, as if they dominated it instead of it dominating them. This wasn't a burst of energy, but a manifestation of essence. This level of balance only happens when two completely different souls reach perfect harmony. Then he fully opened his eyes. One look alone made the guards visibly shiver. He lifted his head slowly, smiling softly, but with depth and meaning. And for the first time, he spoke in his real fused voice. "Well then, it's fine. Looks like I'll test this new part of my power on you first. You're lucky, because you'll face a sacred warrior. Pure." The guards trembled, and then something unbelievable happened. He vanished. Everyone kept staring at the same spot, convinced he hadn't moved. Even the guards. They continued watching the afterimage that remained for a moment, as if he was still standing there. But the figure began dissolving, fading, evaporating. Because the truth was, Gogeta had already appeared behind them. He had surpassed time itself, so much that everyone was still watching where he stood previously. No one realized, until he said it clearly, "I'm here." They turned. Gogeta stood behind them, perfectly still, smiling with a level of confidence unmatched. The guards shook uncontrollably. One muttered desperately, No way! We didn't even see his transition!" They erupted in fury, firing unstoppable punches from every direction at a speed that shattered the air itself. But Gogeta, his body didn't move from its location. He vanished before their fists could ever touch him. And while they failed to reach him, he whispered internally, What is this feeling? I've never felt this pure. All emotions, sharpened, clear. Anger is gone. Pride turned into silent strength. I'm different. After all the punches that failed to reach him, and after the two guardians burned all their energy in vain, Gogeta finally stopped. He turned toward them slowly, smiled faintly, his voice low, but it pierced their essence. "Are you done? Good. Since you've accepted your incapacity, allow me to try something very simple." Then with a calm smirk, "Don't be scared. I'll only use 1% of my power." Gogeta raised both hands together. The guardians flinched. They had lost even the ability to respond. Gogeta tilted his head slightly, eyes locked onto them. "Brace yourselves. This is only the first ending." It was not a strike, not an energy wave, not a technique, just pure compressed force. A pressurized air blast released from his palms. The blast passed through the guardians, their bodies fragmenting, dissolving in a terrifying radiant flash. The shock hammered everyone's hearts. Gohan screamed, "No, impossible! He blew them apart!" Krillin trembled. This makes no sense. What kind of power is this?" The collapse of light, dust, and explosions settled. The guardians were now gasping, energy at rock bottom, their bodies barely upright. Gogeta appeared behind them calmly, grabbed both their heads, and said softly, "I know you can rebuild your bodies using one core. I never intended to truly eliminate you from the start. What I did was enough to weaken you, enough for you to learn your worth. My goal was only to bring you down, so you'd understand the truth." He released them and walked forward. For the first time, the guardians felt their very existence shake in fear. Gogeta took one step toward the future.
then lifted his eyes toward Zeno. Breath stopped. The cosmos froze. Gogeta spoke, not in challenge, not in anger, but in judgment. A true guardian is the one who understands you, not the one who just stands near you. Then added, a true guardian is the one whose heart can choose. Zeno remained speechless, stunned. But suddenly, a black lightning bolt crashed from the sky. No one saw its origin. It struck the exhausted Guardians with an immense force, surpassing everything the universe had endured. In a singular moment, the Guardians exploded and disappeared from existence entirely. Before anyone could gasp again, the sky split. A dark, colossal being emerged, gravity incarnate, holding a world inside him. A light was produced. Not energy, pressure. Pressure on the chest, on the soul, on time. It spoke mockingly. Oh, I terrified you. Sorry about that. No worries. I came to reorganize existence my way. Silent horror filled it. The being continued. That child, I don't need him anymore. He was just a toy I used for a while. But now, he isn't necessary to my existence. In the same second, Gogeta vanished and reappeared directly in front of Zeno, between him and the advancing shadow. Stillness, light behind him, darkness ahead. His eyes didn't shut even once. Zeno stared at him. Then, slowly, tears began to fall. Memories, emotion, understanding, everything he buried for years surged back at once. Zeno whispered, voice shaking, You are my true guardian. Gogeta tightened his fist. One final step forward. The universe itself recoiled. Gogeta looked into the shadow, his voice calm, but final. Welcome to the last round. And this time, you won't escape my grasp.